Hello guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. Today I will be introducing Atelier Ryza, Ever Darkness and the Secret Hideout. Atelier Ryza is a Japanese RPG game and it is one of many Atelier games, and it was released on October 2019. And since then it had a sequel released in 2021. Atelier Ryza is one of my most played games, right after Zelda Breath of the Wild and Pokemon. Atelier Ryza tells the story of a young girl living on the small island of Karkan. She lives on a farm with her parents who try to make her stay on the island and become a farmer. Ryza, however, is always dreaming of some far-fetched adventure and does not wish to become a farmer. She has two friends, Tao and Lent, who are also playable characters in the game. Tao and Lent have troubles of their own. Bookworm Tao gets bullied by local kids, and Lent has to deal with an alcoholic father causing problems in the town. These three had always been dreaming of escaping their lives, and when they see an opportunity, they decide to go explore a nearby forest. This is where they meet Ampel and Lila, a pair of mysterious alchemists who rescue Ryza when she gets in trouble. Ryza is fascinated by Ampel, who is an experienced alchemist, and decides that she wants to learn alchemy. As she learns alchemy, she uses her skill to solve mysteries surrounding the island she lives in and the ruins around the island. I don't want to ruin the story, but trust me, the story is quite intriguing. Okay, so the gameplay. Atelier Ryza can be played in different difficulties. You can set it as very easy, easy, normal, or hard. There are also a lot of cutscenes in the game, and this is how you find what is happening in the game, and also it's a great chance for you to get to know the characters better. But if you ever want to skip, you can do so. There's also an event log in the case you ever miss any of the dialogues in the game. You can press up arrow to see all the dialogues again, and you can replay it in Japanese voice if you want. And yes, the voices in the game are only available in Japanese, but if you want it in English, unfortunately it's not available. There is also something called photo mode in case you would like to take a nice screenshot. Here you can get a border into the picture, change the time of day, add or remove characters to appear in the picture. You can also have the UI disappear in case you don't want that to appear in the screenshot. As you play, if you ever forget what you have been doing or lost and not sure what you should be doing, you can always open up a memo to see ongoing story and completed stories, which is, by the way, very nice. If you want to go back and see what happened so far, it is right there. Right, so how do you move around? So in order to move around the Kirkland Island, you can use the guideposts to fast travel to different locations. These guideposts are scattered around the island. There is also a map to use, but at the early part of the game, the map is not very pretty and you can't use it to fast travel. Later, you get a better map and you can then finally use it to fast travel to different locations, not only around the Kirkland Island, but also to the mainland where you can find monsters. You can also gather some materials to use later on around this location as well. Now, the alchemy. One of the core features to Atelier games is an alchemy. In fact, Atelier basically means alchemy lab. Here you can create various items using the materials gathered out in the wild. These items can be used to complete side quests. They can also be used to strengthen the party and also to be used in the battle to heal or attack. More on this later. The alchemy feature is quite complicated, and really the best way to learn is to try it yourself. There is a way to automatically add the materials, but if you want to make the best item, you will have to manually add materials yourself. So you will have to figure out how the alchemy works. Having said that, you will probably end up using auto add feature most of the time because they're so convenient. The materials come in at different types. It can be fire, ice, lightning, or wind. They also have different element values. These values are used to fill out the material loop. Higher element value fill out the loop faster. Basically, you need to complete the material loop in order to unlock certain effects or traits for the items. You can only add limited number of materials to create items, so it is important that you use the items with the highest element values for the best result. If you don't have the required materials to make the items, the item name will appear as red, and there is something called recipe morph. Basically, you can use an existing recipe to create new recipe, and this is how you create better weapons and such. For the item available as recipe morph, you can see an icon in the recipe list beside the name of the recipe. Once you make an item, there are a number of ways to improve an item further. First is the item rebuild. So item rebuild is you basically continue to create and improve the item once it's made using something called gem. And this will overcome the limitations due to the number of materials that you can use to make an item. Alright, so where to get more gems? So in order to get more gems, you need to go and do something called gem reduction. Gem reduction convert the materials and then change that into a gem. Atelier Ryza allows you to customize your weapons quite a bit. You can do so by using Atelier Ryza allows you to customize your weapons quite a bit, and you can do so using weapon buff. So weapon buff that basically allows you to use materials you gather or other items that you have created, and then improve the weapons further. It gives you more attack or defense, or sometimes some items come with certain effects that you can imbue on the weapons. Okay, so the materials that you need for the alchemy can be gathered in the wild, or you can use staff or other tools to create using alchemy as a gathering tools. You just need to swing at certain objects to get the materials. You can also use fishing rod to fish. You can also get the materials from monsters as well. The material you gather in the wild is put into something called a container. This container can be found in a menu, but however, this container is not very organized and it is hard to see what materials you have in a glance. They definitely could use some way to filter an item. They have some, but it's not useful. Okay, so the battle. In Atelier Ryza, there are 6 playable characters and you can battle with 3 at a time. During battle, you get to control one of the 3 characters in the party, and the other attacks automatically. And you can change the control between those 3 characters anytime during the battle. You can engage the monsters in a battle by hitting with a staff or other gathering tools. Hitting monster gives you 10 action points at the start of the battle. I'll explain action points later. Also, you can just run into them or they run into you, but you will start with no action points in that case. The battle is sort of complicated at Atelier Ryza. On the left side of the screen during battle, you can see character images dropping down in real time. When it reaches the bottom, you can make a move. Make sure to move as soon as you can because the enemy doesn't wait for you. There are several things to know: action point, tactics level, and core charge. I will explain one at a time. So action points or APs are required for you to use skills in the game. When the maximum action points are gathered, you can use it all up and raise tactics level. You can get more action points by attacking with normal attacks. When the higher tactic levels are reached, that allows you to hit more each time you attack normally. It also makes some skills more powerful. So I recommend that you raise tactics level at least to 2. Core charge is required to use items during the battle. Each item has certain CC, which is core charge, that it will use up, and there are 10 CC to start with, so you need to pace yourself and carefully plan how to use them up. By the way, you can decrease the amount of CCs being used by the items when creating them, or you can rebuild it, most likely, to have that property. There is also something called action order. So as you play, other characters will ask you to perform certain actions, like use magic skill or use items. And when you follow that order, the character who gave out that order will perform some powerful move. I highly recommend that you take advantage of this feature whenever you can. As I said, it is a little complicated, but this complexity allows you to be a little bit more flexible when forming strategy in the game. What items to use, or whether to raise tactics level and so on. Honestly, I really like how interactive it is, and it really challenges you. So, the graphics. The graphics are pretty good enough for me anyway. I see some people say that it's not as good as some games available on Nintendo, and that's probably true. If you look at it like a pixel level, I guess it could be better, but I care more about the performance of the game than the graphics quality. And also, if you look at the entire picture here, the scenery itself is pretty good. The lakes, the forests, the ruins, if you take it all at the same time, it's quite well laid out. Honestly, I personally found it very appealing. So, the conclusion, all in all, the Atelier Ryza was such a joy to play. I would give it 9.5 out of 10. I highly recommend it. I will also make a Ryza 2 review as well, and to be honest, it is even better, so please play it if you haven't done already. With that, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, leave comments, and stay healthy. I'll see you guys in the next video.